Peace. Welcome to the YouTube live book reading of Sacred Sounds by Ted Andrews. Magic and healing through words and music. Divine Right. We've made it to a new day, new level. Welcome to the peaceful part of YouTube where we read books and learn from masters. So this is episode and reading 27. We pick up at page 186 at the top. Divine Rising. Look at that. Wow. Yeah. It's a new day. So let's put the lights in. There's a lot going on. Okay. I'm your moderator and narrator, Uriel. Right. And here we go. Tuning the human body. When working with the tuning forks to tune the body, one can work either from the front or the back. The tuning forks are being used to balance the chakra energy flow into the physical vehicle itself. Having the individual lie face down allows for work to be done along the spine. As previously discussed, the spine is an extremely strong sound resonator and distributes the tones to the organ. It is not necessary to work along the spine. Each must find what is suitable for him or her. The tuning forks do not have to touch the body itself to have any effect. Simply holding them in the area of the chakra and close to the body is effective. Although touching them to the spine also has its effects. Some individuals feel that more healing occurs if the forks touch the spine. This is more psychological than actual, but whatever helps the client feel more at ease with the treatment will serve you better. Step 1. A. After positioning the person, strike each tuning fork for its own particular chakra. B. Hold the tuning fork in the area of the chakra. Just how long you hold it there depends upon you. Your intuition. Trust your intuition. Some of you may feel the need to hold longer than others, and you may even feel the need to strike one a second time before moving on. C. Start at the base chakra and move upward through all. Do not skip any chakras. Step 2. A. Step 1 serves the purpose of balancing the energy flow into the body and starts aligning the subtle bodies with the physical at the same time. Any static energy that may have accumulated in the chakras are virtually shaken loose by the intense vibration of the tuning forks. B. We repeat the process, but this time use the entire chromatic scale with the tuning forks. For those tuning forks with a sharp or flat, we strike and hold them along the area of the spine in between the tones and chakra points on either side. In other words, for the C sharp tone, we would strike it and hold it in the area between the base and the spleen chakra as depicted. C. The 13 tones of the chromatic scale are not only balance the chakras, they also unblock and balance the energy pathways, meridians from the chakras. Thus, all of the energy flow is restored. Peace. Welcome, YouTube. Welcome to the YouTube Live book reading of Sacred Sounds. We're in the last chapter. This is the last chapter. We're doing it. Almost complete. I was figuring we'll do 4 readings of this last chapter and close out. So this is the second. Page 188 at the top. Step 3. A. Unblocking and rebalancing the energy in steps 1 and 2 can send energy coursing into areas where it may not have been for a while. This can create a slight imbalance in the chakra, which has not gotten used to the restored flow of energy. This is why repeating step 1 is very important. It ensures that the chakras are still balanced, even with the open and balanced meridians. B. Repeating step 1 also serves to give the chakras a little extra boost. If chakras have not been operating properly for a long while, they may try to slip back into the old pattern of distributing energy in an imbalanced manner. This step gives it extra strength and stability. As we spoke about before, I'm a very big proponent of reinforcing the healing, reinforcing the love, reinforcing the wisdom and information. And that's why we have this channel here to reinforce the information. So thank you so much for being here and reading with us. Highest heart love. Happy Sunday. Love to all our friends and family. Step 4. A. This step will vary from individual to individual. Some may want to channel energy into the person through etheric or therapeutic touch, or through some other form of spiritual healing. B. It is at step 4 that I use the Tibetan singing bowl. The tuning forks would have released negative energy into the aura, energy that had become lodged. The bowl will shatter that energy, break up its pattern within the etheric body, and restore the proper circulation of the energy around the physical body. C. The bowl can be played and moved up and down the spine. It can be set on the spine in the area that is causing the most difficulty. Both methods are effective. It is interesting to note that if one listens closely while moving the bowl up and down the spine, subtle differences in the tone and vibration occur in its singing at, at the points of the chakras. And this is why doing the singing the vowels in the harmonic vibrational manual is so effective, because you can hear the distinct difference from the U all the way to the I, just toning it. And this is the same way we can do with the tuning forks, okay? So this is what this is going through with us right now. D. Some may wish to wait to channel healing energy through spiritual methods or through etheric or therapeutic touch methods until after the playing of the bowl. The bowl enhances the flow of energy into the individual and relieves the stress that may have been the initial cause of the difficulties. This in no way implies that possession of the Tibetan bowl is an absolute necessity. Step 5. This is A. This is another opportunity to channel energy into the individual aside from working with the sound. There are many techniques and books that demonstrate various ways of doing this. B. The Tibetan symbols serve as excellent endings and beginnings for the session. They serve to set up a calming influence in the individual in the beginning and creates a new, fresh vibration for her or him to experience at the end of the session as he or her she awakens from the altered state of the consciousness that the sounds and tones instill through the balancing. Special notes. I'm definitely hit the chime right here. Put a pin right here because this is very powerful. Thank you so much for being here and reading Sacred Sounds with us. We're in the 8th chapter, Techniques of Bardic Healing. And with this 8th chapter, he's giving us the tools. He's giving you the tools to be your own healer and to start your own practice as well. So that's why we have so many different modalities, because we want to be able to come at different angles to be able to heal the people, whether it be internally or externally. We want the people to be able to receive healing in the most effective ways that is we've mastered. That is important. Remember, always step one, to reinforce this, is they must be relaxed and want to be receptive to the healing. Special notes down at the bottom of page 190 of this wonderful book. Special notes. It is important to keep the proper state of mind throughout the entire process. Visualizing the energies of the individual balancing and flowing with health as you do each tone in each step enhances the procedure and its results. Remember, all energy follows thought. Where you put your thoughts, that is where and how the energy will flow. Sometimes it is good to do an aura cleansing between each step. This is where the Tibetan symbols are very effective. Striking them and running them down the body several times between each step serves to keep the negative, static energy that has been released from settling back into the chakras and physical body. All right. And here we have a nice diagram on page 191, Tuning the Human Body, Part 2. And I'll read it after I display. There we go. We are in the 8th chapter, 8th and final chapter of Sacred Sounds, Magic and Healing Through Words and Music. Discover the magical power of singing, speaking, and storytelling. My great master, Ted Andrews. Thank you so much for being here. All right. It says, Tuning the Human Body. 2. The method previously outlined can also be done in a seated position. It also does not necessarily entail the use of tuning forks and Tibetan bowls and cymbals. Any instrument can be used, but some do lend themselves more to this process. The voice also can be used. Step 1. Open and balance chakras. Step 2. Open and balance meridians. Step 3. Rebalance chakras. Step 4. Work with other healing modalities. See, this Just spark something in your mind to say, how can I heal the people? That's what happened to me. We're looking at 2005, 2005 is when I really began with that thought. How can I heal the people in the most holistic way? And I contemplated, especially I was working overnight shifts in the gym as a gym manager, overnight manager in the wellness center, not just a gym, wellness center, very key. People would come in and I would help set them up. And I was like, let me stretch you out before your workout. Then I would start getting results faster. And then I was like, let me stretch them and activate the pressure points on their feet and hands. And let's see what happens. As a master fitness trainer, we know that most trainers do not want to touch the clients. We want our clients always to get better. We want our clients to never get injured. And so this was the spark that brought eventually the year healing modality, in which you've seen in circulation from me from the last 20 plus years now. It was just that thought. What can I do to help heal the people? Page 192 at the top. These are only guidelines. Each person must adapt to them, his or her own needs, and to the needs of the individual he or she will be working with. There is no right or wrong. Be advised that these methods are not intended to constitute medical advice or treatment. They are simply methods of learning to work with our energies on all levels. All right. I'm gonna hit the chart after this because definitely have to put a pin in here, and then I'll let you go for the rest of this beautiful Sunday. Give honor. Thy rod and thy staff. Thy rod and thy staff. In a diatonic scale, there are 7 primary notes, no sharps or flats. This would translate as C, D, E, F, G, A, B, as we have shown. These are key to the vibratory pattern of the 7 major chakras. In our Western octave, however, we do use sharps, flats, and halftone intervals. Together, they comprise 13 tones, a very powerful and symbolic number in the science of numerology. When we use all of the tones, including the sharps and flats, we not only balance out the chakras, but the major energy pathways or meridians as well. When used, the chromatic scale restores balance to the energy pathways. If there is congestion within a pathway, the tones will unblock them. If over-energized, the tones will restore them to the normal parameters. Two of these meridians are critical to the overall functioning of the entire chakra system. One runs up the spine and is called the governing meridian. The other runs up the front of the median of the body and is called the conception meridian. They are sometimes referred to as thy rod and staff. When the tones of middle C and high C are played, sung, or toned, these two meridians are brought into balance. A microcosmic circuit of energy is established linking the two. The Psalms are a collection of religious songs, and each serving a different purpose. These purposes range from healing to restoring joy to celebrating life to passing on esoteric teachings. Some were composed for litigar, liturgical use in the temples, and many current Bibles there is information concerning the word origins, the tone in which they were to be played, and even the instrument to be used. The 23rd Psalm, the most commonly recognized of all, has great esoteric significance. The rod and the staff mentioned within it are ancient symbols of the spiritual strength, balance, and protection when opening to greater spiritual heights. As you can see in the diagram on the previous page, the tones that balance the major chakras and meridians actually take on the formation of a shepherd's staff and rod. Add this to the fact that most of the Psalms were musical songs. It can then be rightly inferred that music was well understood and used by the ancient Hebrew seers. Singing, toning, or humming the chromatic scale will activate the balance these two meridians. It is important to place the tongue against the upper front of the teeth while doing so, as this connects the two meridians. As you inhale, draw the energy up the spine, and then as you exhale, let it flow down the front of the body. Use one inhalation for each tone, toning it silently as you inhale, and then toning it audibly as you exhale. Repeat this with each tone of the chromatic scale: C C sharp, D D sharp, E F F sharp, G G sharp, A sharp, B, and C. This balances all the chakras and the major meridians of the body. It strengthens the auric field, and it can be used to generate energy to hasten the healing process. When these centers and meridians are balanced in this manner, the rod and staff truly comfort. This can be done by yourself or it can be done to another individual. If working on another person, Coordinate your toning with their breathing rhythms. We'll pause right here. Continue back with sacred sounds. Now, let's go back one page and I'm going to show you this diagram is very, very key. Thank you so much for the likes and subs. We just hit 600 subs on this peaceful part of YouTube where we read books and learn from masters. I'm Master Fitness Trainer Uriel Riley, and thank you so much for reading high-level books with us. Here we go. Thy rod and thy staff shall comfort me. From sacred sounds, magic and healing through words and music. Thank you so much. Reading high-level books with us. I will put in the description a brief vocabulary, and when it's finished uploading, I will put it in the playlist. Gratitude and highest heart love. I'll read what it says here, and we'll close out and give honor. Thy rod and thy staff shall comfort me. Page 193 of Techniques of Bardic Healing, the 8th chapter of Sacred Sounds. All right, so as you see, C is tone for the soul star. Now we know that this is the I. I. The tone for the soul star, our strongest link to manifesting our most intense spiritual essence into the physical life. And so, why we know it's definitely the I, right? When we're manifesting and we know, Ahaya, I am, I will, I can. This is activating the soul star when we use in tone. I. Just holding the tone. We're activating the soul star of the vowel I. Right? It says the tone for the soul star, our strongest link to manifesting our intense spiritual essence into physical life. Right? And then you see the governing meridian in the back. It starts from the bottom and goes C, D, E, F, G, A. Then over to the E, to the conception meridian, the rod. By using tones to balance the chakras, we also open two of the major energy pathways in the body. These pathways enable the energy of the physical to flow more freely and intermingle with our spiritual essence. Says, and then you see at the bottom is the polarity, sets up the polarity of the circuit within the 8th chakra, or our soul star. The tones of middle C and high C enable the circuit of energy between the meridians to be connected, thus allowing a freer and more balanced energy flow. There you go again. Thy rod and staff shall comfort me. Psalms 23 is where that's quoted from. And we are reading Sacred Sounds, Magic and Healing through Words and Music. Happy Sunday. Much love to all our friends and family. I give special honor to my cousin, Eric Riley, who just got married. Want to say I love you, cousin. Thank you so much for being such a stand-up and solid person. You always depend on Eric as definitely being lightning rod. He one of the people that taught me how to fight. There's a few people that taught me how to fight, but He's definitely one of them. All right. Thank you so much for being here. I want to give honor and love to all my family. We lost, was elevated, Alfonso. Alphonse Riley. I love you. Praying for my Aunt Joni, all my cousins, his brothers and sisters. I love you so much, Alphonse. I can remember the last time I hugged you. Thank you for being here, coming here, spreading your light with us, as well as the great Jesse Jackson. Been watching your memorials the last couple days. Just been so riveting, energizing, feeding our spirit. One of the rare leaders that came to see us when we lost LT to a police officer shooting him, 1994, Glassboro, New Jersey. Reverend Jesse Jackson, you have elevated the entire world, and we honor you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your light, doing the work. You surely did it. Have a glass of love water as we shake it up on YouTube, reading books. Thank you for the likes and subs. Look at this love. We are doing it, that's for sure. Spread the love. Highest heart love. I love you. Thank you so much, all my family and friends. I love you, Mom. Wish you had a beautiful solar return week. Just spoke to you, and I'm glad you got your package. Highest heart love. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you so much. Love water. So great. Have a wonderful Sunday. Remember, if you are not in Hawaii, you're going to have to put your time on your watches. Move it up 1 hour, okay? Fine rising. I will see you when we reconvene in chapter 8. We're about to close out 2 more readings, okay? I love you. I love you. Peace, peace. Diaphragmatic breath. Self-healing. Peace, peace.